they were doing. They kill our people. They kill Judah, Benjamin, or Levi. They slaughtered, I think it was the 4 to 6 brothers that they slaughtered. And they got the meat and they are cooking it. So we're pretty sure they were exporting some of this meat to China or whatsoever they do. It's weakness. You see, that's the main reason why. Right now, they're bringing poison into Africa. All the junk that they can't bring here in America, where do they bring it to? They bring it to Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana. The Chinese, that's what they're doing. All the poisonous food that they can't eat, they can't feed to their people. Guess where do they bring it? They bring it today into Africa. They bring it to West Africa because we got wicked people, wicked so-called president, wicked puppet, think they're president. They're a bunch of demon devil in countries like Benin, Togo, Nigeria, Senegal, Chad, and the list goes on and on. Wicked Negro, super wicked, wicked Benjamin, Levi, and Judah. Wicked, as I tell you. Because I know what I'm talking about. I was born and raised over there. The wicked, just for the belly. Okay? So let's see what he said. The Most High said, without we jealousy have so proceeded against thee, said the Lord. The Most High said, I'm not jealous. The Most High said, I'm not just doing because I'm jealous. No. The Most High said, no. Watch this. He said, well, if thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thy hand, and saying over the dead, when thou was drunken, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. And the Most High said, the reason why I'm going to deal with you like this, I'm going to destroy you, I'm going to cut you off, is because you always kill my people. He said, the reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shalt thou receive recompense, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, said the Lord Yahawah. Even so shall Yahawah do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. There we go. So they hate our people. They're killing our people, they're poisoning our people, plaguing them, bringing all type of weakness. Moses said, listen, I got you, I'm going to do the same thing unto you. I'm going to do the same thing. Hold on. All praise be unto the Most High. That's right. All praise be unto the Most High. All praise be unto the Most High. He said, let's continue. He said, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, said the Lord, even so shall Yahawah do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall bury with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood. Amen. Whew. This is graphical. All praise be unto the Most High Yahawah, man. The Most High ain't playing no game, man. Y'all hate that? Y'all hate the so-called blacks, Latino and Native. You're from Asia, you're from Philippines, you're from China, you're from Vietnam, you're from Burma, you're from India, and you hate the so-called blacks, Latino and Native. Hey, our God got you. The Most High got your number. All praise be unto the Most High. We ain't got to do anything. Vengeance is of the Most High. Vengeance is of our God, YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash, Kwam Yashala, Kwam Yashala, Kwam Yashala. Right? Let's see what is going to happen. He said, they that be in the mountain, 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 58. He said, they that be in the mountain shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread, and thirst of water. Thou as unhappy shall come through the sea, and receive plagues again. And in the passage they shall rush on the idol city, and shall destroy some portion of thy land, and consume part of thy glory, and shall return to Babylon. That was destroyed. Hola. Hermano, tiene un minuto. I all praise be unto the Most High. YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi. She ain't got no time. All praise be unto the Most High. He said, this is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 61. He said, and thou shalt be cast down by them as stubble, and they shall be unto thee as fire, and shall come and shall consume thee in thy city, thy land, and thy mountain. All thy wood and thy fruitful trees shall they burn up with fire. Thy children shall they carry away captive. Who is going to do that? The Israelites. Okay. He said, thy children shall they carry away captive. And look, what thou hast, they shall spoil it. So whatsoever you got, Moses said we're going to spoil it. And by the beauty of thy face. So imagine that, man. Oh, you want to hate the so-called blacks? Hey, you go ahead and do it, man. All praise be unto the Most High Yahawah, right? That's right, King. That's right, King. All praise be unto the Most High Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Right, let's go right here. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 16 and verses 1. What be unto thee, Babylon, Hey, Babylon, America, okay? And Asia, Indonesia, you got a submarine, hey, no problem. China, the list goes on and on. He said, what be unto thee, Babylon in Asia? What be unto thee, Egypt, which is Africa, okay? In Syria, Middle East, okay? Gird up yourself with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So the destruction is at hand, man. It's nigh, man. That's the Most High, that's the Most High. That's the Most High, that's the Most High. Right? So keep in mind, the Most High ain't playing no game, buddy. So they got a submarine. Hey, all praise be unto the Most High. Let's go. We're going to take a look at another one. Right. Let's take a look at another one. Okay. Let's take a look at another one. Right. There was another one I saw early this morning. Right. Right. There we go. There we go. You want to see, there was some breaking news earlier yesterday, right? Said we're going to go into it and we're going to address it. Okay. Definitely we're going to address that. We're going to address that. So keep in mind. We will address that definitely through the power of YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi, man. We will address it. Let's go. Let's go to this Google thing, man. And we're going to get this info right here. We're going to put it out there for the brother and the sister to see, man. We're living in a lot of time. There will be more evil. More evil is about to come on the earth. There will be more evil. Understand that? Let's see. Russia warned of crossing the red line. Let's see. Russia warned of crossing the red line. Okay. Putin warned, right? Russia warns Western of crossing the red line. Warns. Of crossing the red line. Let's see. The red line. Let's see. Let's see, right? You know, now Esau trying to shut me down, man. You see Esau the wicked. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let's read this. The New York Times. We're going to read from the New York Times. The New York Times. Let's read it. You see the title right there? This is from the New York Times. You love New York Times? You got it. You love New York Times? You got it. There we go. You got it. He said, from the New York Times, he said, Putin warns of a Russian red line the West will regret crossing. There we go. Putin said they're going to regret it if they cross it. He said the West. Now when they talk about West, what do you think? You think is he talking about Benin, Nigeria? No, he's talking about what? The US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, right? Germany, you know, England, France, you know, and the list goes on and on and on, right? The NATO and so on, you name it, right? So let's read it. He said, in a State of the Nation speech, so it's a State of Nation speech, okay, State of the Nation speech. So he spoke in the public, okay, to what he's giving security to his people. He's making them secure. This is Putin, man. This is Putin, okay, the SARS, okay. This is Putin. He ain't playing no game. The Most High is stirring up the spirit of Putin. The Most High is stirring up the spirit of the Russian against the other Edomite. Esau versus Esau. Nation against nation. We're going to read it. It's in the Bible. We're going to go over there. Don't you worry. We're going to go over there. We're going to go over there. He said in a State of the Nation speech, President Vladimir Putin warned of a fast and tough response to security threats. Yeah, he said fast and tough. You know what does it mean, tough? Hey, something super hard that you won't be able to deal with. It's a response to security threat in a message simply aimed at President Biden and delivered amid large protests. There we go. It's always Babylon the Great. It's always America meddling. They're always meddling with everybody. They're always putting their nose into everybody's business. This is the land of captivity. This is Babylon. This is the land of confusion. They're meddling in everybody's business. They got nose in everybody's houses. They want to see what you ate. What are you wearing? Which color of underwear do you got on? Esau want to know that. Babylon the Great. America want to know all those things. He want to know how many children you got. That's why they're doing statistics every day. Because they're the wicked. This is the most evil kingdom on the earth. The United Snakes of America. The United Snakes. That snakes. That devil. That Satan. Right? Let's read what Putin said. This article was written by who? By Andrew E. Kramer. April 21st, 2021. That was just yesterday. Moscow. He warned ominously of red lines. So it's not only one red line, it's many. Okay. He warned ominously of red line in Russia's security that if crossed will bring a powerful asymmetric response. Yeah, man. All praise be unto the Most High. Let's go to the Most High. Let's go to the Most High. Right? If any man speak, let him do as the oracle that Yahweh gave it, that the Most High Yahweh may be glorified and praised in all things that we do. Let's read it. Right? This is the book of St. Luke, chapter 21, and verses 9. But when you shall hear of war and commotion, be not terrified, for this thing must first come to pass. But the end is not by and by. Then say he unto them, nation shall rise against nation. That's what you see. So, because Russia, the Edomite as well, they got some mix of Chinese and Japanese among them. But overall, the bulk, the Edomite. So, and the people here in America, the majority, the Edomite. The people in France, the majority, the Edomite. The people in Germany, England, the majority of the world, they Esau Edom. So you see nation against nation, right? It's a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. So Russia versus America, America versus Russia, China versus America, and America versus China. And the list goes on and on and on, okay? And kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sight, and great signs shall be there from heaven, okay? But before all this, they shall lay their hand on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogue, right? And into prison, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, and shall turn to you for a testimony. So keep in mind, man. Right? So let's see what Putin got to tell him. Right? Let's see what Putin got to tell him. Right? He reminded Western leaders once again of the fearsomeness of his country, modernist nuclear arsenal. He said, listen, man, I got some fearsomeness, man. Woo! I never see this word. Man, this Edoman who wrote this article, he's playing with word, man. He's putting heavy word into the mouth of Putin. Probably that's how Putin put it. So that's why he went and looked for the word, the appropriate word, to make sure she translated exactly what Putin was saying. Let me read it again. He reminded Western leaders once again. So he's reminding the United States of America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, France, Germany, England, okay? Once again of the fearsomeness of his country's modernized nuclear arsenal. Oh my goodness, man. They're beating the plow, man. Putin is beating the plow. He said, listen, man, I got some, like, Satan, how do they call it? I can't remember. It's called the devil 2 bomb, or I can't remember. Yeah, or the satanic bomb, something like that, right? So Putin is telling them, he reminded Western leader once again of the fearsomeness. You see that word? I never see that word in my life. I know the word fear, okay, but look at that word. Fearsomeness, damn, of his country's modernist nuclear arsenal, right? Arsenal, and he boasted of Russia's moral superiority over the West. Hey, there we go. That's what Russia said. Russia said, guess what? He said, they got moral superiority over the West. You see that? And you're here in America, you've been proud, you've been cocky, you think that, yeah, listen, this is what the Russians saying. The Russians saying that they're superior to you when it comes to the morals. You see, there we go. Because you killing, you doing weakness. Babylon is doing weakness. So guess what? This is what Russia say. And he boasted. So Putin, he boasted, right? Right? And Putin, he boasted. What did Putin boasted saying? He boasted, right? He's been proud of Russia moral superiority over the West. He said, we more superior unto you when it comes to morals. All praise be unto the Most High. All praise be unto the Most High, YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Hey, all praise be unto the Most High. Wow. This is amazing. Yet, even as the President Vladimir Putin lashed out at foreign enemy rear or perceived in a State of the Nation speech on Wednesday, tens of thousands of Russians defy a heavy police presence to pour out into the street to challenge his rule. In Moscow, some gather across the street from the Kremlin to chant, "Go away." Now, these people, they've been paid by who? Who paid these people? George Soros and some of these that funnel the Democrat and the Republican is the same wicked people. They funnel every country to go against whosoever they want to go against. Buenas tardes. Hermana, tiene un minuto por la palabra de Dios. All praise. She said no. She said no. She said she ain't got no time for the Most High. All praise to the Most High. He said, it was a snapshot of Russia in the third decade of Mr. Putin's rule, a leader facing an increasingly angry and desperate opposition but firmly in power with his country's vast resources and huge security apparatus at his disposal. So guess what? Putin, he got everything there. The Most High make sure Putin, he got whatsoever he needs. Don't you understand that Russia is a whipping rod in the hand of the Most High? You out there in the Christian church where you don't have understanding of the prophecy of the Bible. Don't you understand that Russia, especially on the Putin, is a whipping rod in the hand of the Most High to do a favor to the Israelites? Don't you understand that the Most High is going to use this Russian, right, to bring forth his judgment? Don't you understand that? Hey man, I appreciate that the Most High is going to use this Russian, some of these Iranian, to bring judgment upon Babylon, to bring judgment upon Edom. Oh man, all praise be unto the Most High YAHAWAH, man. Right? All praise be unto the Most High YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash. It's a faulted for a lagging response to the coronavirus and with popularity rating declining, though still high, the Russian leader used the address to outline a vision for Russia as it emerged from the pandemic, one that promised numerous new economic subsidies but was silent about political right. There we go. In the recent weeks, he was simply falling back on a tried and true tactic to bolster his fortune, fanning nationalist flames. He has ordered an enormous troop building up on Russia's border with Ukraine. Rumors of war, man, right? And has gone toe to toe with President Biden, who issued a new round of sanctions last week under terror by Mr. Putin's saber rattling in Ukraine. Mr. Putin portrayed Russia as harried by Western nations for years with hypocritical criticism and sanctions. Punishing Russia, he said, has become a new sport in the West. All praise be unto the Most High YAHAWAH, man. Hola, hermano. El Señor tiene un minuto por la palabra de Dios. All praise be unto the Most High YAHAWAH. He said he just came from there. That's good. He said, Mr. Putin portrayed Russia as harried by Western nations for years with hypocritical criticism and sanctions. He said, punishing Russia, he said, has become a new sport in the West. And he was running thin on patience. He said, listen, man, you've been doing this thing all day long. You've been putting sanctions. He said, it become a sport for you, America. It become a sport for you to always put sanctions on us. You see, why he pledged on Wednesday that he still wanted good relations with all participants of international society. He said that if Russia is forced to defend its interests from any security threat, its response will be fast and tough. Man, all praise to the Most High. But there were signs that a public wearing after 2 decades of Mr. Putin's rule was increasingly tuning him out. That was evident on the street of Russia City Wednesday evening as rallied to protest the prison treatment of the prominent opposition leader Alexei Navalny, seem to be mushrooming into something more. So he's talking about this guy right here, right? He's an opposition figure, supposedly, right? He's being paid by the same devil, right? He's a puppet. He's just a puppet for the United States of America. He's just a puppet for England. He's a puppet for the US. Nothing else, man. It's not like the guy is smart or he's better. No. He's just another puppet for the Western. That's what the Western looking for. So they can bring forth the New World Order. The New World Order. So they can give everybody the mark of the beast, the 6666. They want you to worship Esau, Edom. They want you to worship the so-called white man. Don't do it, brother. Get out of it. Come out from it, brother. If you're a so-called black, Latino, and Native Indian, and you love the Most High, don't worship the so-called white man. Don't worship the so-called white man. Don't do it. And don't worship his idol. Don't believe in his lie. Don't do that. Because it's going to destroy you, kill you. Do not worship it. Don't believe it. Don't worship Esau. Don't do that. He's that beast, man. Understand that. Do not worship the gringo. You worship the gringo, you're going to die. You're going to die. Understand that. You worship the gringo, you be gone, buddy. Understand that. Okay. He said, chanting freedom for political prisoners and down with the Tsar demonstrator gathered across Russia 11 times. So it's showing that mirror the nationwide turnout and a wave of protest in January. He said thousands were arrested at those protests this winter, which came after Mr. Navalny returned to Russia from Germany, where he had been treated for a poisoning with a chemical weapon. All praise be unto the Most High. Only the Most High know if it's true or not. Hey, blessing be unto the Most High. YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi, buddy. Okay. So let's keep on rolling. Let's take a look at another one, right? We're gonna take a look at another one. Bear with me. Let's take a look at another news, man. There's a lot of going on. World's news. Okay. World news. Let's take a look at what's going on, man. There we go. We're going to show you. Okay. So understand that. We're about to show you. Okay. It's a House passes bill that will grant DC statehood. So they want DC finally to be a state. There we go. Washington, devil country or county, is going to become more a state. It's going to be a state just as Virginia, New York, okay, Illinois, right, California, and the list goes on and on, Colorado, etc. It's going to be a state, right? Let's check it out. This happening today is from the Caucasian News Network. The Caucasian News Network. So understand that. It's from the Caucasian News Network. Okay. Understand that. It's a House passes bill that will grant DC statehood. It's a the House of Representatives voted on Thursday to pass a bill that will grant statehood to Washington, D.C., a Democratic priority that faces obstacle to final passage, even with the party now in control of both chambers in Congress and the White House. The party line vote was what? 216 to 208. The legislation now facing an uphill fight in the Senate, where it is unlikely to get enough Republican support to clear a 60 vote threshold for passage. It is unclear whether even every Senate Democrat will support the measure. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia indicted on Thursday that he is on the side on the DC statehood bill. There we go. Some people might say, we don't want that. We don't want DC to be a state. And some people might say, yeah, we want DC to be a state. Let's take a look at another article. Bear with me, all praise be unto Moses. Let's see this devil right here. This Pharaoh. This is your devil, your Pharaoh, your puppet. For the New World Order. He's one of the New World Order agents. He's one of the puppets. He's one of the New World Order agents. Okay? Okay? So, keep in mind, YouTube, this is not my music. I'm not playing that music. Alright? Disclaimer, it's not my music. Keep in mind, I'm just going to put out there. It's not my music. I'm not playing it, just playing the background. Okay? So, this is your puppet. This puppet, this Pharaoh called Biden, committed to cutting U.S. emission in half by 2030 as part of Paris Climate Pact. How do you know does he even know if he's going to be alive? Does this devil know if he's going to wake up tomorrow or after tomorrow? Does he know it? You see how they talk, they're proud. He's saying 2030. He's still in a year, the Babylonian and the pagan year 2021, right? Supposedly 2021. And he's already predicting, talking about 2030. You see how they play the game? You see how they fool you? You see how nasty is politics? You see how disgusting is politics? And now people buy into this stuff. They believe this. They believe this lie. How can you be running airplanes, right, into the space? You running, so much airplane. Burning so much, fuel. All these cars. You ain't got no mass transportation here in Babylon. They don't have no mass transportation. It's not developed like you see in Europe. Everybody own car and they're polluting the atmosphere. Everybody want to own house. They're cutting tree, doing all type of weakness. And the devil say he's here. He doesn't know if he's gonna make it for the next 3 years. He doesn't even know if he's gonna make it. He doesn't even know. But he's proud because they're the wicked. Because they're the body of weakness. Malachi 1 verse 4 through 5. And he's already boasting and talking about 2030. As if he's the Most High. As if he got power. As if he controlling it. He doesn't even know if he's going to wake up. He doesn't even know if he's going to make it for the next 4 years that he's sworn into Satan, into serving Satan. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. And he's talking about coming to cutting the U.S. emission in half by 2030 as part of Paris Climate Pact. How you do that? The New World Order. He said the president announced the pledge during remarks at the White House Virtual Climate Summit Thursday. There we go. I don't want to watch it live. You see the devil with the other puppet behind, right? That cool woman, right? That wicked woman right there, right? That wicked woman right there. He said the U.S. aims to cut greenhouse gas emission in half by 2030 as part of its new commitment to the Paris Climate Agreement. President Pharaoh Joe Biden announced Thursday. Biden made the pledge called the Nationally Determined Contribution while speaking at a 2-day virtual climate summit attended by dozens of world leaders Thursday morning. Biden rejoined the 2015 Climate Pact in February, first in a decision by Pharaoh Donald Trump to withdraw the U.S. from the global coalition to curb carbon emission. Listen, he can't do anything. He's lying. It's all weakness. It's all lying. He's deceiving you, buddy. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. He cannot curb anything. Okay? Okay, then guess what? All these guys gotta be gone. And they're gonna take the power away from you. They can't. See what I'm saying? Unless, maybe they wanna give them votes. Maybe it's okay. Give every house, every family vote. He said from now, it's okay. It's okay. If the Most High allows it. Okay. He said, Biden saying remark from the White House, but the truth is, America represents less than 50% of the world's emission. So imagine less, but that means they're emitting a lot of oxygen, like a lot of carbon. They destroy a lot of things. No nation can solve this crisis on our own, as I know you all fully understand. Okay, you see weakness? That's weakness right there for you, buddy. It's all going down, man. The Most High ain't playing no game, buddy. Let's take a look at another one. Okay. This is Esau. Let's see what the Esau dealing with some weakness, right? Esau always got something going on. This Edom, right? Let me see. Alright, I don't want to deal with that. Let me see. said India, right? It said India report recalls single-day jump in COVID cases with more than 314,000, right? New infection. Hey, the Mosai ain't playing no game, buddy. The Mosai ain't playing no game, right? The Mosai ain't playing no game, right? That's why we gotta repent and keep the commandment of the Mosai, right? Repent and keep the commandment of the Lord, YAHAWAH Bahasham Yahawashi, man. Repent and keep the commandment, right? Repent and keep the commandment, right? Let's go right here, right? Let's read it. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go to the book of Psalms. That in the spirit, what's up, to deal with it. Let's go right here. That we make smoke with out here. Let's go right here. So I feel sorry for some of my friends. Alright? Right? So let's go right here. We are going to the book of Psalms, right? We got like a few minutes, right? Let's go in the book of Psalms, right? We're gonna go in the book of Psalms. We're gonna read some just to feel the spirit of our people. Right? This is the book of Psalm chapter 73. Psalm 73 and verses 1. It said, truly Yahweh is good to Israel, even to such as of a clean heart. You see, so you gotta have a clean heart, man. If you're an Israelite and you got a clean heart, a clean mind, you are not seeking to kill anybody, you are not wishing like death on your brother, you are not trying to kill your brother, your sister, you ain't trying to do no drug, bring drug in the community, you are not planning to do abortion, to slay the innocent baby. Hey, you got a clean heart, a clean mind. Listen, the Most High be good to you, okay? Only to the Israelites. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. You see that? This David teaching. My steps had well nigh sleep, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So the wicked are always prosper. Okay, understand that? Those people that are wicked, they always prosper. The wicked, they always prosper. The wicked